Welcome to the What You Need to H2Know podcast, where we feature the people, places, and projects shaping Ontario's water community. I'm Michelle Grenier, the Executive Director of the Ontario Waterworks Association. Throughout February, we're sharing a special mini-series called Flowing into Leadership. In these short episodes, we introduce you to the candidates running for election to the OWWA Board of Directors. Each conversation offers a brief look at their background, what motivates them in the water sector, and how they see the role of the board in supporting OWWA's members and advancing the industry. Today, I'm pleased to be joined by Richie Cotterill from MeterCorps, who's standing for election to the OWWA Board of Directors this year. So welcome, Richie.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
How are you doing today?
Having a wonderful day.
Well, that's good. Before we dive into some of the questions that we have for you, I was hoping you could introduce yourself a bit more for our listeners and let them know a little bit more about your day job and your role within OWWA, and if there's anything else somebody should know about you before we head into this election.
Perfect. Yeah. Richie Cotterill, been in the industry for 23 years. I currently work for MeterCorps Inc., Vice President of Sales for Canada. So I do lots of travel, coast to coast. And yeah, I think when I started in the industry, I was loading trucks. Didn't really focus on the fact that I was in the waterworks industry, but started meeting all these interesting people as they came into the yard and as I met the customers as I loaded up their trucks. Kind of felt kind of prideful in the fact that I was helping deliver safe drinking water products. So that's kind of where my joy came into it and wanted to make a career out of it. I currently am on the MAC Council, which helps with our annual conference and trade show. Been involved with OWWA and haven't missed a trade show in probably 18 years. So,
wow, I think, yeah, there's only the COVID years where we didn't have an in-person conference. Might be the only time I haven't seen you there.
All the virtual conferences are fun.
Yeah, that was good too. Well, thinking back to your time when you were loading trucks, as you say, can you tell us a bit more about what drew you to the water sector originally and what's kept you engaged over time?
I think just my personality, I was always asking lots of questions. So meeting these interesting folks that came into the yard, asking questions and finding more about the industry that I was in. It started off as a summer job, but I was asked to stay on and I was kind of eager just from the conversations. I think what's kept me engaged over time is just all the quality people you meet in the industry. Going to conferences and trade shows and meeting all these different interesting facets of the business and all the characters that come along with that. Managed to create a lot of friendships and a lot of people I respect. So that's what keeps me in it.
Yeah, I think it's funny, like one of the common themes through these interviews and in a lot of the podcast interviews that we do is people tend to end up in the water sector kind of by accident. But once you get here, it's really easy to stay here because those connections and those relationships are so strong, right? It really is a tight-knit community.
Well, it's such an interesting, like when you meet people, you develop these friendships and relationships, you lean on a lot of different people. And the more people you lean on, you find out they're leaning on other people. So I find that the camaraderie and the pulling on the same end of the rope atmosphere is what kind of keeps everybody engaged and involved.
Yeah, and that's a great lead into my next question is I guess, you can expand more on the network piece, but if there's something else that you wanted to share, what aspects of working in the water sector do you find most meaningful or motivating, especially when the work is challenging?
Well, I think everybody wants the same common goal. We want to be able to provide, from a sales aspect, we want to provide the products that deliver this safe drinking water to the end customer. And all the municipalities and treatment facilities all want to deliver safe drinking water to the end customers. So again, pulling on that same end of the rope, I think it's rewarding in so many different facets. So
Yeah, I think so. The shared mission, right? So thinking about your role as a leader at MeterCorps or even as a leader within OWWA, in your career so far, is there a particular lesson or experience that shaped how you approach leadership or decision making?
I think my decision making and leadership style is not hammering down just my thoughts and opinions, but gathering as many different opinions and perspectives to come to a common goal or common decision. So I tend to lean on people heavily. So
Definitely collaborative style.
yes,
Has that always been your nature, or is that something you've evolved into over time?
I think I've evolved over time.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. I tend to go the other way. I'm still working on that different opinions part.
I find you very collaborative.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Um, Thinking about the sector as a whole, the broader sort of industry, if you could influence one area or aspect of the water sector over the course of your career, what would it be and why is that important to you?
I would say from my experience going from just Ontario to Eastern Canada to nationally, I would think for me, it's engulfing all that knowledge and how things are done differently in different parts of Canada. I love that the aspect of having the Canada conference and East North kind of view of things and incorporating the other provinces that come into this one big show. That excites me.
Yeah,
So
we're really excited for Next Wave. And maybe for some of our listeners who aren't familiar with the work of the MAC, so the MAC is our Manufacturers and Associates Council, and it's made up of a broad range of service provider members, which, including Meter Corps and Richie. And we're really excited to deliver on a huge show with Next Wave coming up in May. And so thank you to you and the rest of the group for all the work that you're putting into that, because it's a lot of heavy lifting going into that. Thinking about, so I talked about the members a little bit, but as a service provider, maybe if you, because you have a unique lens from, that specific subsector of our industry, where do you think OWWA can have the greatest impact for the sector over the next few years?
I think that goes back to the next wave and bringing as many people in to show what we do in Ontario, but also bringing in new collective ideas from and potential new members from across the country. I think that's massive. I think the more provinces and members pulling on the same end of the rope and learning from each other and building that social network, the better off we're going to be. So I see that's the strong point.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think that OWWA is doing a good enough job, or do you think OWWA needs to do more to build bridges between the different groups in our membership, like between utilities and vendors and consultants?
I think everybody can always do better. I think you and your team have done such a great job over the last few years. I think you're going to take a giant leap this year. Again, with the next wave, I keep name dropping.
Yeah.
Should be like a hype person. But taking that next giant step. And then for me, it's exciting because it's a bit unknown. Where can we go from there? So
Yeah.
I think the trajectory going up is looking pretty good. So.
Well, I think I'm going to ask you, or the next question is sort of looking in that lens, is looking at yourself potentially in the role of an OWWA board member. Where would you want to see the board take the association, and how would you work with the other board members to start moving the needle?
I think we use the word collaborative, but I think I bring a lot of experience with basically traveling to every conference and trade show across Canada, whether it's a national show or a provincial show or an area conference. So I think it's bringing in that intel and that knowledge of what's going on, and then feeding that information to our directors and say, okay, what are the next steps? What are you thinking? And then share the information that I've collected to see if we make the right decision or not.
Yeah, I think you definitely have a different access to a lot of different people that we don't see on a regular basis. Because how many days a year would you say you're on the road, Richie?
I was on 78 flights in 2025.
Wow. So you
Yes.
definitely have lounge passes to share.
I do have lounge out. Yeah. Absolutely. I think I was 78 flights and 68 hotel stays.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's unreal. Okay. Well, I can't, I'm a little bit mind blown by that. So I'm gonna throw you our last question that we have pre-planned here. Is there anything else you'd like our members to know about you or about why you're interested in serving on the board?
Um, I'm a big sports enthusiast. Family man. I have 3 kids. They give me all the character building I need outside of work that keeps me grounded. And I think for me, I want to join the board because I think I have a lot to give back, especially with my experience in the industry. I think I bring a lot of relationships and flow of information coming in that I can help keep the team fresh and kind of progressive where everything stands in different markets, different regions, and appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah. You didn't mention that you've won the No Water, No Hockey game 4 times, something like that. You've been on the winning
Up
side.
until last year, yeah, last year was a
Yeah.
tough one, but
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what we can do about that this year.
looking
Well,
forward to it.
Richie, yeah, it should be a good time. Thank you, Richie, for taking the time to chat with me today. It's always nice to see your smile. And I also want to say thank you for your willingness to serve in the association. I know the election process can be a bit daunting, so kudos to you.
Thank you.
And to our listeners, I also want to thank all of you for tuning in to this episode of Flowing into Leadership. We encourage you to learn more about all of the candidates and to take part in the upcoming board election. The polls will open on March 17th, 2026, and the successful candidates will be announced at our annual general meeting on May 4th. You must be an active individual member or a named member under your organizational membership to be eligible to vote. So if you aren't yet a member and you want to support your preferred candidate, please check out the membership tab on our website at owwwa.ca. Well, Richie, I'm sure I will cross paths with you at one of our upcoming OWWA events. But until then, I'll say thanks again and we'll see you next time.
Thank you so much. Keep your stick on the ice.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll try.